So let me see if y'all still awake. Y'all with me still? Y'all love hip-hop? Do y'all know hip-hop? Alright, so I'm going to start it off. And I want y'all to join in and follow me. I'm going to see if y'all really know it. I'm going to test the room. I'm the king of rock.
Is not higher.
Sucker MC.
So call me sire.
To burn my kingdom.
You must use fire.
I won't stop rocking till
I retire.
that's the energy I'm talking about right there. We all came to see this legend, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to bring up the host of the Fireside Chat. You all know this brother right here from allhiphop.com, Chuck Jigsaw Creekmur, as a man's respect as a thought leader, trendsetter, and trailblazer in several industries, entertainment, and technology as a co-founder and co-CEO of allhiphop.com. Give it up for Chuck Creekmur. You see my man, and now, the person you all been waiting for. This man is an innovator, a motivator, a philanthropist, Darryl DMC McDaniels, aka Devastating Mic Control. He changed music and made history when he broke down cultural barriers with his legendary band RUN-DMC. 40 million record sales and 1 billion streams later, he continues to inspire and impact the world. Let me say it again since y'all you clap it up. 40 million record sales and 1 billion streams later. He was the first rap group on MTV, the first to grace the cover of Rolling Stone. He's in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. He's in the Rock Hall of Fame. Inductee and Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Everybody stand the hell up and give it up for DMC.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? All right, peace. All right, really.
This feels like they're inside the actor's studio.
Oh,
I used to run in a show.
Definitely. All right, so we on the latest conversation.
Yes, sir.
DMC. First of all, let me tell y'all, in the industry, if you've been in the industry long enough, you have a running list of who's treated you good, who's done you right, who's done right by your organization. Number one on that list is this man right here.
Thank you.
I can't tell you a better human being in this music game, which is very treacherous at times.
Yes.
Right. So I got the story time real quick, D.
Okay.
Story time real quick. All right. Once upon a time, in Delaware, at the Stone Balloon, in Newark. Okay, y'all feel me, right? RUN-DMC and Jam Master Jay came to town. Now, on that day, at the end of the night, Run, D, and J take a Sharpie and they sign a t-shirt, each of them, including Jay. And they say, we're gonna give this t-shirt to the hypest fan in the crowd. Okay? So, I was in the crowd, right in the middle, right in the front. And I remember clear as day, there was this young man, young bull dude. He said, it's my birthday. I should get the t-shirt. I was like, yeah, get out. And I just, it's me.
Yeah, attitude.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Right here.
All three of us. That's crazy.
All three of y'all. Now, here's the catch. Here's the catch.
Delaware. I wrote Delaware.
Here's the catch. It was 28 years ago to this very day.
Really? That's crazy.
my man Jason and I were talking about it. I said,
Really?
Yeah.
This is the day it happened.
28 years ago on
Wow.
Saturday to this day. So it's full
That's
circle.
crazy.
Full circle.
And I wrote Delaware.
Yes. So thank you.
So I was there.
DMC is a time. All right, G. We go way back. I don't even want to get into the history, but I just want to thank you, first of all, for treating me, Greg, all hip hop so good. First things first. Secondly,
You're all hip hop, that's fine.
yeah, thank you. Secondly, but thank you for what you've given to the world as an ambassador of the culture, to all these people, to everybody. Know what? Nobody has a bad thing to say about you.
Well, all of us were in this hip hop thing together. That's what people don't realize. Like, it's crazy because you say hip hop now, the first thing people think is, oh, how rich are they, how famous they are, who they're fighting, and who they're dating.
Yeah, right.
But back in the day, if you would say hip hop, you would say, oh, those records are so good.
Yeah.
De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Run-DMC, across the border. So we still got work to do. Even when it was the 50th year of hip hop, I said 50 years of hip hop, and we just getting started. And people say, what do you mean 50 years? No. Only thing hip hop has done to the masses is prove that we can sell some records.
Right.
But we got to use the culture, especially now, with what all hip hop, what you're doing. We got access to TV, radio, digital, all of that. And the reason why I'm saying that is it was 1988. And check this tour out. It was Run-DMC, we as the headliners, of course. EPMD, Eric B. and Rakim, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, shout out to Will, and Eric and the Public Enemy. So we on the side of the stage, we're watching Rakim. All of us watching Rakim, and we're going, damn, we can't do that. Like, this is special.
Tour.
This was in 1988. It was like a 5-6 city tour that we was doing. I forgot which way. It was a small little quick tour that Russell and them threw together.
Okay.
And the discussion came up about why is hip hop so good? So, you know, oh yeah, we're doing arenas now. Running them got us getting sneaker deals, this and that. Even all the way down to there, we could get all the weed we want. We could get all the English we want. We could get all, you know what I'm saying, the kids stuff and stuff like that. And the conversation went around. The first thing, and Chuck was 24. The first thing, and I remember this, because Run and Jay smoked more weed than they could grow on earth. I got more 40s than Old English could put out. And the first thing Chuck said was, I never got, with that God voice, I never got high a goddamn day in my life. So what that did to me, and I was a huge Chuck D fan, I'm standing there with coke in my pocket, and weed and everything, and everybody's bathtub was filled with 40s and ice. We get the ice machine, but so when Chuck said that, I remember going back to the dressing room, sitting down and going, so why does he rhyme so good? Because the perception was, you know, doing all of this stuff and making, and when Chuck said that, but then Chuck said, nah, the most positive thing, the most powerful thing and good thing about this hip hop is this. There's always a mic in front of us. We're making records, we're on TV, we're on the radio. That's the opportunity for us to uplift everybody who is participating, looking, and listening. And I'll never forget that. So the greatest thing that Run-DMC did without asking was we were the chosen representatives for the hip hop culture. Yeah. It was a responsibility for us. About 30, 40 years ago, somebody said, if you go to the dictionary and look up hip hop, it's no words, it's just a picture of me running Jay. That's powerful.
That's fine.
And then somebody recently said about 10 years ago, if you go on the internet, look up hip hop, see a picture of Run-DMC and Jay. So we embodied everything from day one, even to the point where we were currently involved in it. And what's missing now from hip hop is the responsibility of the people touching those microphones.
That's all about. I know we're on basically a limited time.
Gotcha.
But I want to go to the sort of the beginnings right there. So 1984 is when Run-DMC's first album came out.
Right, first single was 83. It's like that circumcised.
Absolutely. I got so many questions. But I'm going to kind of keep it in context with the topic of race and breaking down barriers. The first video is Rockbox, and then it begins with
A little white kid.
yes, a little white kid, and it ends with that same little white kid running, chasing y'all.
Yeah.
What
That was very subliminal.
I'm gonna condense my questions. So that there's that, and then there's King of Rock. Now, if y'all gotta look these videos up, because this is the MTV generation as a right. And boom, that video started at a museum, the Rock and Roll Museum.
Right.
And and the white man is like, you can't.
You guys can't come in here. This is a rock and roll music, but it's deeper than it. We don't want your kind in there.
Exactly.
Which is not smart because the rock and roll started with black people. The blues is the roots. Everything else is the fruits. I mean, what's crazy, Chuck, is here's what's crazy. And it's not the fault, Chuck says that when you interview these rappers now, they think Outkast is old school. They look like that's how bad that's got it. But you're supposed to know, or you're supposed to want to know. And the perfect example of what this King of Rock video signified was, if you sit down with Keith Richards and Mick Jagger and do an interview about the Rolling Stones, the majority of the interview is going to be about the blues artist, the black blues artist that influenced them. You come to talk to Mick, he's going to talk about Howlin' with the Muddy Water. Go look at the interview. Say to my friend Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, sit down and try to talk to them about them. And they're going to give the props to that. So when we was doing that, when we did Rockbox, which was the first rock rap record, Walk This Way was the third rock rap record, but the real third rock record is the Raising L song, because we always made a title rock song. It's just that Raising Hell blew out the waters. But when we did Rockbox, we was trying to make Billy Squires Big Me, which is a rock song. So what I'm trying to say is rock always had its presence in hip hop. Before rap records was made, before rap was alike, if you would have went to a block party, house party, or park party, and Hurt Band, Flash, Charlie Chase, whatever DJ was playing, in the crate was jazz, R&B, funk, disco, when they do disco, but also rock songs. So we were trying to make Billy Squires Big Beat. Then when we did King of Rock, the motive behind King of Rock was, it wasn't really a white or black thing, it was a hip hop thing, because it was saying, this music's a fad, you ain't gonna be around, whatever. So me, I would say, I was always a kid when I was writing my rhymes, I was thinking like from a comic book. So I was,
Talk about
but go ahead. I was like, to put it in their face, I'm not gonna say I'm the king of rap.
Right.
I'm gonna say I'm the king of rock, meaning I was a little kid in my room saying, when I walk in the room, I want Elvis to bow down to you. I want Jerry Lee Lewis to get up off that throne and say, do you sit here? So the Rockbox, and especially the King of Rock, was even deeper, Chuck, because when we did get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '09, they was like, D, come in. You guys were prophetic. And I was like, why? They said in 1985, you did a video called The King of Rock with Larry Bud Melvin from the David Letterman show at the front door of the Rock and Roll Museum denying your entry. I said, what's the big deal? They hit me with this, Chuck. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't exist in '85. It didn't start till '86. So I knew since the inception of rock and roll that, no, it didn't start. So that video was actually, what's going on, why is rapping and this and that. The reason why hip hop has to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because it started with the black people. And that's how it's for a faction. You know what I'm saying? I understood what Gene Simmons was just saying it was for rock bands.
Yeah.
That was his thing. He wasn't going to get, he was his front, man, I play this guitar, man, we can understand it, but Gene Simmons got to realize that turntable's an instrument now.
Absolutely.
Because the black folk took it and made his instrument.
Rest in peace, H. Fraley, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the way this week. And D'Angelo, of course, and D'Angelo, the Serenity Gang here. Were you guys? Well, this is the MTV generation. MTV was notorious for not allowing black artists on that platform.
Yes.
I always credit Michael Jackson and RUN-DMC, and
For being the first black song,
Yeah.
breaking the mold. No, but you know who really broke the mold? A white man. David Bowie. David TV getting interviewed, and then his question was, why ain't played no more black people?
he went in. Yes, he did. You can look it up. He went in. He really helped.
Yeah, he really like none of that. But this is your funny joke too. Even some of the people in the MTV era, this is a funny joke. Rest in peace, Michael. What people said this, nothing. It was like, yo, there was no black people on MTV. Yo, well, the first because Michael Jackson didn't count. He was, but they didn't mean that as disrespect to Michael. Who brought blackness?
Yeah.
Michael does black, but he was still the mute. He was that thing that exactly. Right, he was there, but he was that ass. But we brought a blackness so black that the white people wanted to be black. They wanted to be black. They wanted to be what was in them already. You know what I'm saying? Like when you went the same thing happened. Run-DMC did the same thing that the black blues artists did to Eric Clapton. You know, there's a video on YouTube where Muddy Waters is performing in London, and Mick Jagger and Keith were in the crowd like little kids. And they had Rolling Stones at this point, and Muddy sees them and calls them to come up. They was like, no, we can't go up there. Muddy was like, yes, you can. Because somebody said that what Run-DMC did was literally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually done and walked this way video. When Steven Tyler takes the mic stand and knocks down the walls separating us, every country I go in, since '86 to go, DMC, don't you know when Steven Tyler took that mic stand and knocked down the wall in the video? That didn't just happen in the video. So Run-DMC was the chosen ones to do for our culture what the powers that be said couldn't be done. You gotta think how much balls we had, or guts, excuse my language, how much guts we had, because in the beginning, hip hop was just singles.
Yeah.
It was just like disco. And a lot of young people don't know this. We were just doing disco in the streets. It was a DJ thing, and then the MC thing came along. And to the point where, y'all know the Fat Boys, one of the greatest groups in their first name was the Disco 3. Or Jam Master Jay, 1984, and we got the master of the disco scratch. So the world thought hip hop was going to die like disco died. Yeah. But it was Run-DMC to say,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we did. The secret to our success is on Adidas. Well, that's to say, we took the beat from the street and put it on TV. We didn't create it. We took what y'all were doing and put it on TV. What wasn't like Run-DMC created this thing. No, we just was the vehicle, the vessels to show the world who we all are. Once that was seen, it was powerful because people that had misconceptions. I work with people in all these big companies, and we become good friends because of hip hop, and these are white people. And they say, man, I'm so pissed off at my parents. I'm like, why? Because their parents didn't know no better. Some of my white friends were told that black and white went to the same night schools in New York. But dead kids were, you don't go when the doors them people go in. And you don't sit at the tables them people go in. Which always existed, but hip-hop came along and to knock down those walls of separation to where a white Jewish punk rock group can now make a rap song. The BCs. Everybody gave Eminem so much credit, but they don't talk about the BCs. Now, the BCs, what was unique about the BCs, they wasn't white dudes trying to be black. They were white guys using the art of rap. Like Mike D didn't have a gold chain. Mike D, literally, this is true, took the emblem off of Volkswagen, put it on a plastic chain and stood up in front of the black people like this. But Real recognized Real. We gave them respect because you ain't trying to be running them. The Ad Rocket, they wore Adidas, but their Adidas is bare, sturdy. My Adidas gonna be clean. So it's the same feel but a different expression that everybody could relate to. So the whole thing with Tequila Rock was, you guys can't come in there. It was deeper than music. It was saying the struggle of the black people that nobody wanted, the existence of the black people that nobody wanted to recognize. So like Chuck, he'll talk good. Chuck
D.
is coming, he was older, so he felt the civil rights movement. I'm a kid. I didn't know, I was like 2, 3. Chuck's 7 and 8, he's seen it affected his families. So when he got to hip hop, he knew he had a purpose with it. So when we got to hip hop, we knew we had a purpose just to do this. Keep what Flash and and the Cold Crush and the Funky 4+1 were doing alive, because anything that is commercialized that is special to a group of people in the community will get diluted, polluted, and destroyed, and used for purposes that it will do more harm to the people that created it than good.
Amen. You did a concert. Now I'll call it. It's pretty fair to follow the concert, but it was a game changer for you. Can you talk about Live Aid a little bit?
Hey, Live Aid.
And explain what it was, because it was a very...
Yeah, Live Aid was Bob Geldof and all of the greatest people, and we used to get together to raise money to feed the starving people in Africa.
Yeah.
And we was on the Fresh Fest tour at the time, and we get a call that y'all gotta go to Live Aid. Now we don't want to go tired, because we on tour. We had to leave. We had to leave DC, go to Philly, do the show, and then fly back to DC. So first of all, we didn't want to go. Then we also, the rest was like, you're trying to set us up. Why do you want to see us? We had no expression. No, we good just doing a hip hop thing. But I didn't find out this out till like the 40 years later. They had to meet and discuss all the lineup for the Philadelphia show. And Bob Graham, the great promoter. Bob Graham, I think his name was. Bill Graham, yes. Bill Graham is in the meeting, and they're doing the lineup, and then Bill says, you gotta have RUN-DMC on this tour. About 20 people, why do you want them? That's not even real music, that's a fact. Like, everything against it. And 2 people, one of the original creators of it that I'm doing something with now, and another person that was in the room. Oh, Bob Geldof himself told me that on a flight going to Canada when but Bill Graham says this, and this is Bill Graham, like the guy that knows. He says this, and this was a game changer. Not only that we was worthy of being on it, but we might not have been if Bill was in the road. Bill says, if my DMC ain't on the show, I'm not participating. 3 people told me.
That's crazy.
He saw something in this little culture of music that people, but if anybody knows what's going on, he was there, the San Francisco music scene, that, with Janis Joplin, he saw better than us. And that's, I don't forget. Thank you, Bill, rest in peace.
You mentioned the first,
That's true. The first rap tour, everybody talk about Raising Hell, Fresh Prince. RUN-DMC, Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, Jermaine Dupri was a dancer. Funky D with Jerry curls.
But that was a groundbreaking tour.
Yeah, because we in arenas.
Yeah.
What's the preacher guy that's on TV?
No.
Yes, Joe. Yes, he owns the Summit now. That's his church. We used to do sold out shows in that venue.
Yeah. Now it's his church.
In Texas, and now it's his church. The Rockets don't play there no more. They got a new stadium. We played the front. Yo, it was so powerful. We did 2 shows a day. We would do a matinee show for the kids. You know how mad I was at that? I don't know how we did that. The whole production would do 2 shows of the Fresh Fest. That's how bad each city and town wanted to set it up.
All right, so check it. Let me ask y'all real quick. Who was at the Dickinson show when RUN-DMC came Dickinson High? Who was there?
I was there.
Ray was there. Jen was there, I know. Nobody else was there? Yeah, see, y'all ain't real.
We just played high school.
Dickinson High School, Run-DMC came.
Yeah, we played high schools. Yep.
Yeah, now, what year was that, Greg? 80.
Yeah, I was gonna say 84, 85, the high schools and roller skating rinks.
Okay, well, let me bring it up to one more date. I got my man Dave Woolley in the house.
That's
Dave, put up that
official.
flyer. Let's see it.
That's crazy. This Shirley Further, how crazy is that? Nah, she in touch. That is crazy.
This will be officially included in the Hip Hop Museum.
Woolley production. We played high schools and roller skate rinks in the beginning.
How was, man, listen, it's hard for people, when you're first, or when you're close to first, or you're a pioneer,
Right.
or you're breaking down walls of division and whatnot.
Right.
It's hard for people to comprehend what that's like. So when you guys dissed Michael, maybe it was,
There was a diss, no,
yeah,
right?
it was a diss. Okay, it was a diss
Not to him, though. It was a diss to the industry
to the industry.
for not accepting.
Not
Want
the
to hear the
Beatles.
story?
Let's go. Yeah, I'm on these.
So, 1988, we get a call. Michael wants to do a record show. So we fly from New York. He owned Paramount Recording Studios on Santa Monica. So we go to LA. It's me, Ryan J, the DJ Hurricane. So we're supposed to meet Michael at 1. We get there. Michael's not there. He don't show up till 7. So we there all day waiting for Michael. But then he finally comes in. And he got Bubbles the monkey. There was Michael, his assistant, his chef, and he's carrying Bubbles the monkey. And Michael walks in, he got the mask thing on, and he got the glove on. Yo, this was crazy. So he walks in, this is a true story, and we standing there, me, Jay, running, and Kane, right? And Michael says this, RUN-DMC, I love you for dissing me. Because he saw in his glove taken in the hustle with Adidas, but then he said, I didn't take it personally because I understood what you were trying to do. He says, I love that enthusiasm in people. Yeah, so we standing there, if you can read, nobody said that to this day we never came, but if you can read my head, I'm standing there, if you can read my mind, I'm like, oh shit, Miss Michael Jackson. He's congratulating me for dissing him. And he got some monkey. And Darryl's person over their ass, sneaker and hat backwards, walking around the whole time like this. Like, checking us out. So I don't know what they're about. Yeah, Michael Jackson, he understood because we said, the original rhyme with "There's no one chiller" in the live or in the street, it would have been "fuck Michael Jackson and this bullshit thriller." But y'all supposed to go and see that on the record. So we toned it down, yeah. Threw the ad on the Beatles, pulled the plug on Jerry Lee Lewis. That was prophetic of what's going on right now. They don't want hip hop in there, but you gotta put that in there. Because the crazy thing about being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is we sample all the music of the people and some of it. So you know, I didn't stole all the music from y'all. But it's what we did with it that qualifies us to be in there. You know, we followed in the force there. See, all of y'all know this. For us, our hip hop was an entity created to represent more of us. And what I know is the one thing that we got in common in all this room across all cultures and race, creeds, religions, and all of that is Saturday morning, right? Cartoons, Brady Bunch, Flintstones, Jetsons. But here's the thing that hip hop is. All we had was the music our mothers and fathers played, right? Whether it was black, white, Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? Host Felipe, Luciano, everything across the board. But the two things that brought us together was Saturday morning, 12 o'clock, Channel 5, the black guy, Don Cornelius Soul Train. Then we were Ray and Arrow. At 1 o'clock on ABC, the right guy, Dick Clark. But Dick Clark was beautiful because Dick Clark would put Slide on American Bandstand, would put Aretha Franklin on American Bandstand. So hip hop gave us the permission to do what Stevie and all of those guys were doing. So it wasn't just about us. So once we knew that was a privilege for us, it was run. Jay would always say, don't forget our responsibility. Don't forget our responsibility. So we had a responsibility. So the very thought of ignorance and being afraid, oh, you afraid of those black people, this and that. And all the white people should have been realized, why are you going to be afraid of us and you using our music to create your rock and your metal and stuff like that? And the white guys doing the music knew this, but it was the way society was. And somebody had once told me, you know what I'm saying, we as a people did what hip hop did with music. Grandmaster Caz said, hip hop didn't create anything, it recreated everything. But what we created, they tried to use it for their purposes. So through slavery, through civil rights, hip hop brought our shit back to us. But the problem is, somewhere along the way, the last couple of decades, it got away from us again. So how do we get it back? We gotta recreate hip hop again. And there's no disrespect to the Dirty South or any other forms. But what happened with hip hop, because media and the airwaves is a powerful thing. And a preacher had once told me this, a pastor told me that. He said the devil controls the airwaves, right? So they took our music and said, don't have any fully clothed women calling themselves queen in front of our daughters. Don't have any people saying, oh, and I'm gonna do about a record about sex, but I ain't gonna curse. I'm gonna make OPP. Don't have anybody talking about struggle and violence and what's going on in the minds of our community creatively so that everybody can comprehend, like the Ghetto Boys' mom playing tricks on me. Scarface, most of our hip hop records have us doing this for the drug dealer. Hip hop made the drug dealer realize I can talk about something else and I ain't gotta sell drugs anymore. So Scarface, listen to his rhyme. He ain't saying praise me because I'm selling drugs and I'm getting successfully everything the American dream can get you, but won't give me that opportunity. I'm getting in this way. That's why we celebrate it. But Scarface was like, and now I can't sleep. Lord, show me another way. So you want another way? Here comes DMC from the same streets we all come from going, I'm DMC, and the place to be. I've been to St. John's University. Since kindergarten, I acquired the knowledge. After 12th grade, I went straight to college. So that makes you shit. So when we was talking, when Chuck said that there's always a mic in front of us, now we understand what Chuck was saying. Okay, we sell some records. But now we got the opportunity to be journalists and host of our own shows. We could be filmmakers like Spike Lee. Y'all seen the movie Sinners? What's his name? Is a fan of hip hop. Right. Yes, he's a fan of hip hop. But he didn't only just show the struggle of us black people, he showed what the Asians go through. But the thing that we should learn from the Asians, and even the Jewish people, them motherfuckers stick together. Imagine if we create how you walk, talk, order food. There's a great video on Netflix which is about food. High on the Hog. I could not believe what these motherfuckers in the White House did to our black people just because the macaroni and cheese was so damn good. Enslaved them, you ain't gonna be free, you gonna cook that macaroni and cheese, I think it's good. And then the guy that invented it said, can I go? He said, no, you ain't going. And then this guy, just to be free and see what the world was about, he had to do something, but at least he thought, okay, it's wrong, but at least my brother will be all right. He said, my brother will stay here and cook, I'll leave you. So he gave him his bill and they let him go. But as long as they had that macaroni and cheese. So with us, as we gave the world macaroni and cheese, and somewhere along the way, the powers that be, you know, the white establishment or whatever, the 3D hungry money people said, don't serve them the macaroni and cheese no more. Serve them the, what's the Velveeta? Well, now the people should be getting Velveeta. Now, when you look at it, the reason why I was confident, see, what we got to do is we got to give our kids the opportunity, but also the confidence to be courageous in their creative endeavors. Because it's almost like if a kid wants to be in the comic books, or if the kid wants to do art, this beautiful thing right here is heaven. This building is heaven. But it's almost like, oh, if you're not an athlete or a rapper or a drug dealer, you can't be successful. We got to change all of that. The thing that gave me confidence coming out of Hollis, Queens was I'm hearing hip hop come, and this is before rappers are like, it's coming over the bridge and you hearing the tapes of Grandmaster Flash, The First Five, Cold Crush, Fantastic Five, Funky 4+1, Treacherous 3. And this is before Bo D became a recording artist and his historic battle with LL. The Treacherous 3, when you would listen to those early tapes, you know, Busy B had a rhyme. We said, up in the morning, out to school, teacher teaching the golden rule about American history and all of that stuff. But out of all of that, he was thinking about how to be a good MC. So it gave you some good values. Right. Hip hop is about taking what's available to you and utilizing that to better yourself. So long story short, on the early tapes, you would hear good things. Don't do this, don't do that. The thing that gave me confidence was the Treacherous 3 did a song called Yes We Can Can. They sampled the Pointer Sisters. And now we can make it. I know that we can, I know none well. Now this is crazy. That record, as it is from the 80s, can play right now. This record starts like this. Evil destruction, tax deduction, price inflation rocks the nation and unemployment is on the rise. It's hard to find a compromise, but if it lasts like this for a long enough time, won't lead to nothing but a higher level of crime. So we say, then they go into rapping. Now, first of all, that flow right there is phenomenal. And the use of the words and concepts. But then there's the part where they go into, you know, as the Treacherous 3, all the issues affecting them then that affect us now. But then the good part of those records is when the Treacherous 3 and the second part of the album, they would break up and Mo would get a verse, LA would get a verse, and Sunshine would get a verse. And you would wait for your favorite part because I like Sunshine, so that was for you. You get to Horson and Mo. But Mo did a game changer on this record. It was known in the streets of New York that Mo D was in college.
Okay.
Before I dig around, and this is significant to what made me say the rhyme that y'all know. It was known in the streets Mo was in college, and he's a college kid, and he don't get high. And it was crazy. There was something about when the drug dealers was in the spot with the chains and the cars outside, you know what I'm saying? When you look back to our drug dealers, they didn't advertise that shit. Right. Supreme Team, Fat Cat and them, you knew they were, but they didn't walk around like these rappers rapping, or they didn't advertise that shit. And what I'm trying to say is they had a level of respect for them. That's some crazy shit y'all doing. Yeah. I couldn't do that. But the crazy shit is when Mo Gee walked in, stood there with his glasses, cool Bo D like this, the whole joint would go. There was some power to that. Yeah. So the thing that explosive power was on this Treacherous 3 record, on his top 3 to show how good your rhyme skills are, this guy Mo D said this. When they passed in the mic, he said, once a nobody from the neighborhood, I took a hop to the top because I knew that I would excel over the rest because I make progress. He said, I don't consider it luck because I'm not blessed. I got my life whole together, love the way that I live. Go to school, know I'm cool, and I think positive because it's a right to have fun, lots of pleasures and joy, but it's a brain that separates the men from the boys. Oh, my goodness. He was like, like all those cars and shit. But when he said that, I was like, shit. So when Run passed me the mic, if you listen to Suck MCs, that was Run's solo record. It was RUN-DMC, me and him doing this like that, the Message record. But he's the star. Russell is going in for his brother Joe. And Run had Suck MCs written. But then Run was like, yo, D, I gotta make Russell feel, because Russell knew I was smart and I could write. And he only let me do it like that because I wrote a written one. So Run, the Suck MC song was made. It was the B-side of the single.
Yeah.
And DJ Run was the star with his sidekick. See, I was a sidekick originally. But after what I'm about to say happened, what happened, it put me on the same level as Run. Because Run was already 15 years old, son of Curtis Blow.
Right.
I'm just right rounds in my bedroom. So Run says, I gotta make Russell believe that you could do this.
Right.
So when Run passed me the mic, I was like, Joe, I didn't write a song for it. So Run always knew I was always rapping. He said, motherfucker, you know how Joe is. And I Run is. You know, see, he's that guy in Crush Crew. Y'all see Crush Crew? That's part of my success. Fuck you, Russell, fuck the minute. So he says to me, motherfucker, you just gonna say your newest rhyme. So I go in the booth, my newest rhyme was a rhyme I wrote about going to school. That I wrote because of what Gold D did for me. So when I said that rhyme, I came out the booth, Russell, you ain't no son I kick no more. You a kid in the place, example. But I had the confidence because of what Mo was doing. I just did an interview with Jay man. The message set a template to where the Ghetto Boys had to make Mod claim tricks on me. Ice Cube had to leave NWA, and then when Ice Cube left NWA, where did he go? He came to New York City, got with the Bomb Squad. He said, help me rise, and he did America's Most Wanted, which was explaining the situations that was glorified on the NWA record. Because Ice Cube was saying, this ain't cool, I'm in the fucking tension that's going through around me, but let me tell you why. And let me tell you, I'm gonna better myself. So for RUN-DMC, we always had that responsibility, but it was from the people that did the hip hop. The Africa Bambaataa and So Sonic Force, Zulu Nation was the biggest street gang in New York City. But they realized, man, if we could have this much power fighting each other in these streets, what's gonna happen if we get together and start a van program for the elderly? What if we do after school programs? So they stopped fighting each other and they started creating. So this is the point that we are right now. When RUN-DMC did the 50th year anniversary hip hop performance at Yankee Stadium, our whole thing was, 50 years of hip hop, we just getting started. And all of y'all in here, all of you in here, my story's cool. You grew up with me, you lived it. But I want to know your story. What did you do when you went home after the RUN-DMC concert? What was going on? What was the political situation, social situation, educational situation? All of y'all sitting in here on the next books, feature films, Academy Award-winning series, get your shit together. Go find these students that are at Delaware University and said, I want to do a documentary on, and you be the subject. You don't have the information a history book or a politician could never give for us. And you'll be sitting the next year and they'll be calling your name for the Emmy. And if you don't believe me, when I was going to my mental health show, I was drinking a case of Old English a day. You know the 40 ounces? A case. But the funny joke is that's during the day. At nighttime, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, and Johnny Walker were my best friends. So it's a 24-hour cycle, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours. But when I got to the place where I didn't want to live anymore, and then I said, you know what? If I die tomorrow, I want people to know the Darryl, the guy that made the DMC thing possible with Front and J. So I wanted to write a book, Chucky, and I was like, Darryl McDaniels, 130, the groundbreaking rap group, RUN-DMC. You know me, first of all, first go platinum, first on the cover Rolling Stone, first with the single. But I'm really just Darryl McDaniels from Hollis, Queens, New York, no different from any boy or girl on the face of the earth. I was born May 31st, 1964. Now, I know my birthday, but I ain't know no details. So long story short, call my mother up. Mom, I should have told my mom I'm alcoholic, I'm suicidal, I don't want to live, I'm depressed, but you know how stigma is. So I was just like, Mom, I'm writing a book just to make it more interesting for the reader. My birthday's May 31st, how much should I weigh, what time I was born, what hospital she tells me. Hang up the phone. Hour goes by, she calls me out with my father. I have something else to tell you. Okay, what? Now I'm thinking they're gonna go, Mama, when you was born, there was a power outage in an hospital. We gave birth to you about candlelight. They me with this. You was a mother when we brought you home and you're adopted, but we love you, bye. So then I found out that I was a foster kid. So what I'm trying to say is your story can save a life. Your story, I'm sitting there at the Emmy Awards, and this is why, your story, not mine. The reason why my story was shocking, everybody thought that DMC was the mighty king of rock who walked his way in as Adidas to tell the world tricky how life can be. But it was really to set up your story that's given to you to tell, to utilize, to pass down. That's why the forefathers from Africa to all the struggle that we had in this country, they trying to shut us up. And if you don't believe me, they're trying to shut us up. I did 2 interviews a day and I was talking about how disrespectful the old school and new is to me. Even when they first started doing it, we got the old school and new, we got DMC in it. Now the perception is, oh, they showing homage to you and they claim to bring homage to you. Since they first invited me to one, I said, this shit is disrespectful. Why DMC, you're on the radio and do this and that. And my first question was to the program director, where the kids at? In school, they don't hear you. But they see me at 61, but they don't hear me talking about what I did when I was their age. But I was able to see what was going on with my age, because I had Kaz, and I had Mel, and I had Mo, I had an MC Light, I had Movie Love. Why do you think the girls don't think? I knew when hip hop was in jeopardy. I knew our culture was being disrespected, and they don't care about y'all or me when the She-Hulk was twerking. On the Marvel comic book, the She-Hulk is that what's the living dude? So that's what I'm saying. What happened to the Moni Loves, the Ahmadiyas, the Rhapsodies, the MC Light? MC Light wasn't a female MC. She was a dope-ass MC. The dudes go in the rain. Facts. So that's my position in this game, and I'm fortunate to be still there.
Here, Dr. Jakir. So get your questions, please. Your diatribe. Big, because we want to get as many questions in as we possibly can. But, I mean, y'all know I had about brief needs of the questions, and I can't get them all in. But there's one question I want to ask you, a particular song. You know, you guys did a lot of songs, but there's one that probably changed my life. It definitely changed my life. Proud to be black.
You know I'm proud to be black, y'all, and that's a fact, y'all. And if you're trying to take a gonna take it back, y'all. Yeah.
That record was very, very powerful. I mean, it's still powerful.
Dr. Dre and T-Money and Public Enemy. Public Enemy was doing what they was doing, but they was like, you're not doing what y'all doing. So they come to Chunking House another one day and say, we got the song idea for y'all. And we go, what is it? And out of respect to them, we was like, okay, we'll do it. We was like, yo, we ain't we ain't conscious rappers, or we ain't political rappers, or whatever. And Dr. Dre and T-Money, not even Chuck and Hank and them, Dr. Dre and T-Money said, yes, Allah. So now me and Run is all, what do you mean? What the fuck? Y'all did this like that?
Yeah.
So if y'all could talk about how the world is, why can't you do a record like this about your old people? Okay. And we did it. And the beauty of that was, just like the little kid was chasing us in the Rockbox video, all through the Raising Hell, all through the Tougher Than Leather movie, Tougher Than Leather tour, all through the Together Forever tour with the BCs, all throughout Europe and Germany and everything, we got white people up front screaming, you know, I'm proud to be black, you know, in every leg. So that was Public Enemy saying, this is an opportunity for our responsibility of this MIC, and what better entity to use than Run-DMC and Janice J, who are representing this cultural movement. And so it was a testimony of the power that existed, which inspired, damn, after Run-DMC did that shit, they changed the nation, which inspired them. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. But just that statement and what we were doing with hip hop shows us the power that we have. I was just in Elkhart, Indiana, We went there for a performance. The community is like maybe 75% black or whatever, and they do nothing for the black people there, right? This is funny. To get to Elpa, Indiana, you got to drive through Notre Dame. So when you drive through Notre Dame, you see this opulence, and you see the big houses. And after a 10-minute drive to the Notre Dame, where the university is at, you get to Elkhart, Indiana. It's so crazy that it literally, look, you ever see a Western with Main Street?
Yeah.
You know, I have to get the cowboy coming down over for the gunfight. It's exactly that, but the ground is paved.
Okay.
And if it got the pub and store like this. So we in Elkhart, Indiana, and it's that there's no programs and nothing for that. And I'm bringing this up to say they do nothing for the community. But what the black people started to do, oh, we're gonna raise money, we're gonna stick together. They started doing bake sales and they selling the food and they doing performances. Now, the people that don't want to support them, man, come to town when we do our thing. Like, you know, the white people. But the good ones too, but the majority of them that don't want nothing to do with us, but the ones that want to look good because this is going on. And you know what brings them to Alpha, Indiana? This is so funny. Chucky, this is funny. They don't come there. They don't care about the education. They don't care about nothing there. But when these black people say, we all do something for our community so that the vendors and the local businessmen can make some money, you know what I'm saying, once or twice a week, they call in Bootsy. They call in George Clinton. They call in all of our creatives, and they're coming to enjoy our music, but they don't want to mess with us. Think about that. So we do have a power. Hip hop didn't just create rappers, y'all. So it's our responsibility to, y'all gotta become the subjects for your kids that's in college. Have your children write books about you and your grandmother, what was she was doing in 65. That's the next hot series on Netflix. We so busy looking, not knowing what we could be doing. And it goes back to, even when there's nothing, there is something to use. So then now, oh man, what we got? Man, we just got the music of the people that we see on Soul Train American Bandstand. You know how to do? I'ma tell my story. So let's start telling our stories. And if you don't know how to tell your story, there's a university down the block waiting for a student waiting for you so he could get an A++ from his professor by telling a story where it has to do with economics, music, creativity, cooking, politics, slavery, these civil rights. It's all in your health. Go sit down and talk to the man that had diabetes, ain't got no legs. These are the stories that's going to elevate us as a community and a culture.
All right, we got time for about 1 and 2 questions. All right, let's okay. All right.
Real quick question, that y'all. Now, when artists now stop getting paid for their record sales, and now they're getting streaming and things like that, do you think that stopped the creativity in hip hop? As far as like now they're not selling records anymore? And that was that?
No, not at all. See, that's the one-sided question, because there's only people that know hip hop to the music business. The hip hop is thriving. Go to Japan, go to Europe, every place except America, hip hop is thriving in its original form. Now that whole music business is a whole nother discussion that we need some of the kids that are in college right now to come out and create companies to change that. We need to be we need to be executives at Spotify and say, fuck that shit. like Master P, no, you take 10, I'ma take 90. Right. Because they're gonna take it, because 10 times for them is what they taking from us in the beginning.
Quick question. First of all, thank you for being here. So, like, Delaware, partially this quick. This real simple. Did you really think hip hop made it this far?
No, because the only destination was, it's funny, and just for me, y'all, in New York City, our only destination was to get Mr. Magic, or Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, Awesome 2, or the Supreme Team to play your record on the radio show. Once that happened, you're done. All of this other stuff, but to answer real quick, we was in London and they asked Jay that. And it surprised all of us. I was like, wow, I never thought of that. They asked Jay, did you ever think hip hop would get this far? And he said, yeah, I knew it would because it was so big to me. I was like, oh, right. All right, what's the question?
Do you remember when going to East New York? I was that little kid. You pulled up. You had a blue Cadillac.
Black.
Yeah. You looked down and washed your car on Rail 6. What? Yes.
Because I was quick to see the factor.
Yeah. I was on Rail 6.
Wow.
What's the name? Wow.
What do you think you say that? I asked him their back was good as in the whole, got on the earth. I got my back.
Oh, wow. Sick. Wow.
And that's the first time I had a chance to break it.
Wow. I remember the thing.
Yeah, because when we came to the network, I didn't know who you were. But I just saw you was cool, everybody said, and he said, go wash the car. I said, I am washing the car. I'm just telling out.
Wow. That's true stand.
Can he ask this question?
All right, last question. Thank you. Wow.
DMC, first of all, I'm going to say thank you. My name is Eli, the Lookout, a book publisher. I want to ask you this question. You've been around the world. I see a lot of the papers, right? In your opinion, what leader or mentor has the framework or design for our growth back to God and goddesses?
Great question. It is right back to God and goddesses, is anything to do with creativity. Writing, journalism, art, painting, playwriting, cooking, baking, building. Barry White said it so plain when everybody was mad at him for saying he was God. And there's an interview with him, and he said, we get to create. You saw that? And he said, he took it further. He said, we are gods. He said, can we create life? Can't we kill a person? Enough said. Our power is back to the creativity. We so busy trying to be what we see everybody else doing instead of being what you. And that's a great segue into the soul sonic force. Remember the message? It's fucked up. Everything's ruined. This and that, which was the truth. But then the soul sonic force came with a Planet Rock. Let me just end with this. The soul sonic force, and these bars are better than 99% of everybody in hip hop. Soul sonic force, Mr. Pinks. I rhyme with MC Grunt. We emphasize to show we got ego. Make this your night. Rock it by day. As the people say, live it up. Shucks, no more. I pray our world is free. Be what you want, just be. Be what you want, just be.
DMC will be upstairs during Colts, selling cookies. He's an entrepreneur, a businessman, an artist, a visionary.